Hello, Bots and Books fans. This is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Todd McFarlane Batman. Now, if this figure looks familiar to you, it should, because a few weeks ago we did the Walmart exclusive DC Multiverse Todd McFarlane Batman, the gold label edition, and this is the general release edition. It has some very subtle color differences and different accessories, and we'll go into that a little bit later. The box is really nice, and if you're interested, this would be the standard edition, and if you have the Walmart exclusive gold label edition, it will look like this. The difference is obviously going to be this gold label here in the top left hand corner of the box, and the colors and the accessories, you can see they're a little different here from that, but we will compare them all once we get them out of the box. So taking a look at the box, you can see this is in the standard DC Multiverse box. You can see Batman in there. You have, at the very top, you have 22 moving parts. You have McFarlane toys. You have 12 plus here. You have DC Multiverse Batman here. On the side of the box, you have DC Multiverse Batman, McFarlane toys. On this side of the box, Todd McFarlane design, because that's special, and they want you to know that this is a Todd McFarlane exclusively designed figure. You have Batman, designed by Todd McFarlane, and McFarlane toys. On the bottom of the box, you just have some words and credits for the box. You got a barcode there. And finally, on the back of the box, you have Batman, designed by Todd McFarlane, McFarlane toys, some credits for the box, and some more figures from the wave. So nothing that we have not seen before in the previous review. And have a nice picture of the Todd McFarlane Batman there. So anyway, that is the box. No one wants to see this guy in the box. I know I don't. So let's get him out and see what he can do. And here we have Batman out of the box. And out of the box, he stands just under 8 inches tall. He is a really tall fella, especially with his extended ears there, so that's pretty neat. I like how Todd McFarlane designs the Batman with his exaggerated features like the ears and the cape and all the other things in most of his drawings, but this one, the cape is pretty much normal. But anyway, in the box he comes with a nice trading card. We'll look at that later. He comes with a figure stand, which is nice. He comes with 2 knife accessories, and I like these a lot. These are really cool. We'll get a closer look on those in just a minute. And he comes with a golden batarang as opposed to some goggles like the gold edition did. So that is his accessories, but let's take a closer look at the Batman himself. Coming in real close on Batman. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you know that if I'm reviewing a toy that is basically a repaint of another toy, I like to have both toys out on the screen at the same time so we can compare and contrast the major differences in the toy at the same time. Now, here we have the regular edition on the left, and on the right we have the Walmart exclusive gold label version. The differences in these toys are very, very subtle. I'm not even sure if you can make them out on the camera. It's very hard, even to the naked eye. But the regular edition is done in a kind of a darker midnight blue, as opposed to the Walmart version, which is like a midnight gray or black. So but the colors are really, really close, very subtle again. Other than that, the sculpt is the exact same. Everything about the costume and the design is the same toy. It's just repainted. Now, another noticeable difference is with the bat on the chest here. You can see the standard edition is a little more glossier than the Walmart edition. Now, it could be my copy and your copy may vary. I'm not exactly sure, but zooming back out to see them both, all of the details and his gear is going to be done in this dark midnight blue, like the buckles on his arms, his gloves, his utility belt pouches, the pouches on his leg, and his boots. They are all done in that same color, similar to how the Walmart edition is all done in that dark blackish gray. So there's really not a lot of difference. I believe also the grays on the regular edition is a little lighter than the grays on the Walmart edition, which would make sense because when you're talking about the blue costume and Batman's black costume, the blue costume always had a lighter gray as opposed to the black one, I think, for the most part. But anyway, we're going to take a quick look down these fellas and get them real close. So zooming in, you can see the difference. Nice tall head cowl, nice wide eyes, grimacing face. I love the shoulder wings on the cape. The bat that covers most of the chest all the way to the shoulders, coming down to the abs section. The gloves are really nice. The gauntlets, they do have spikes on them, both sides. The pouches still there, very nice. The belts, identical. I still think they should have moved these knives because I don't think that's practical in any sense of the way, because there's no way he can like kick or anything without stabbing himself in the leg. So that is pretty neat. All right, coming down, see some more pouches and straps on his thigh there. Now, interesting about the new edition I got, I guess this is just my copy, but just to show you guys, if you look really close, you can see for some reason there's a little bit of brown paint smear, so I guess some of the pouch here rubbed off on it, so that's kind of a bummer, but that's okay. That's okay. It looks nice anyway. Coming down, you can still see the back of his leg pouches. They have the bombs, and that is pretty cool. And coming down to his boots. Coming around to the back, you can see it's exactly the same. He still has his sheaths for his knives, still have the cape folded inward on both sides, coming down at a very sharp point at the bottom. So I really like this cape design, although, you know, I think with Todd McFarlane I was kind of expecting a more predominant cape with lots of spikes and stuff. But anyway, all right, moving on. And for our articulation, starting at the head can go around 360 degrees if you were so inclined. It can look up, it can look down, it has a lot of side-to-side pivot and movement, and it can even hinge forward and back. So that is a lot of good movement for the head. Coming down to the shoulders can come up and out, and they are really tight, and it has some nice almost ratcheted joint in there. And if you look, lift up the cape a little bit, you can see it's almost like on a butterfly hinge, because that can go in and out, so that is nice. The shoulder itself can go all the way around 360 degrees. Just watch the cape and bring it back down. The bicep swivel is 360 degrees as well. That is good. He has a double elbow bend. Gets you a lot of motion there. Again, be careful of the spikes because they are sharp when you're playing with your action figure. Now, when you come down to his wrist, it is on a ball wrist, so a lot of people don't like this concept or ideas of articulation, but I think it gives you a lot more movement. So you can basically go in and out, up and down, and all the way around. So yeah, it's not exactly natural, and it doesn't look that great, but I think the trade-off for movement is good. All right, coming to his ab section, it is bisected. So you have two sections where he can go all the way around, which is upper abs. So you can get a little left and right, and all the way around here. Move him around from that point, and coming down to the actual waist articulation, it can move forward a little bit and back and left and right, and from here you can also go 360 degrees. It's a little tough to get a hold of, but it can be done. So there you go for your chest articulation. Moving down to the legs. Legs can go up just a little bit. You're going to have a lot of molded detail from the belt that gets in the way, so that's going to hinder your articulation for your legs a lot. they can go out to the side a great deal, and you can't really go back much because the butt gets in the way. So that is kind of a bummer, but that's all right. It does have a little bit of thigh rotation left and right, not too much though. He has a double knee bend, like so. See that? A lot of good motion. Bringing that down. No boot cut to speak of, and that will bring you down to his foot. And his foot is basically on a ball hinge, so that will take you all the way around 360 degrees. You can move down a little bit, you can go up a little bit, and that will take you to some toe articulation. So there's a hinge here that will bring the foot up, and that's pretty much it for his articulation. There is a lot of good stuff here, and he can move really, really well. Moving on. And for accessories, we start off with this trading card. It's really nice. It has that picture we saw on the back of the box. It says Batman designed by Todd McFarlane. And on the back of the card, you can see it has a brief read-up of Todd McFarlane's career when it comes to the Batman and his experience with it. So if you'd like, you can pause the video, read that to your heart's content, but we must be moving on. So that is it for his card. He also comes with a black round figure stand. It's got DC right here on it, and it has a little tab that his foot can stand in, and these are really nice, and I'm glad that they threw this in there. So anyway, moving on. For his first figure accessory, he has a golden batarang. This is really nicely done, and he can hold it really well. I think I like this better than the little goggles because, you know, they're a little more practical, but hey, to each their own. And for his final accessories, he has a pair of these really, really nice dagger blades or short swords. I'm not exactly sure. They are really, really nice. They are very serrated. They have a lot of sharp points on them. They come down. They're mostly that black with some silver highlights on the bottom to denote the sharpness of the blade. They're coming down to some wrapped handles and some spikes on the hilt of the dagger. So that is really nice, and he can hold these really well, and he can store them in his sheath really well, and I just love these. These are definitely better than those little knives that came with the gold label edition. Definitely more menacing. Moving on. And full comparison, here you have both figures with their respective gear. And I think the standard edition's weaponry is a lot better than the gold labeled edition. But that's just my opinion. Now, you may like the gold daggers and the goggles, but I think the more pronounced blades on the standard edition just makes it look more intimidating, cooler. And the batarang is always a good option to have. Moving on. And for a final comparison, here he is with the Nightfall Batman and the Justice Batman. These are all Batman designed by different artists, and I think they look great. Each has their own unique qualities about them, but they are all the Batman. All right, moving on. And this has been the DC Multiverse Todd McFarlane designed Batman, the wide released version. Now, this wide released version features new accessories and a dark blue and lighter gray paint job than the Walmart exclusive gold label edition. And if you ask me which one you should get, and if one is better than the other, I would say technically no. They are both the same toy, as it were. But if I had to choose, I guess I would go with the wider release here because I do like the accessories better than I did the Walmart exclusive. Those knives that he has are very nicely done, and I love the batarang. But I don't know, I think I like the paint motif better on the Walmart exclusive. But you know what? The good thing about toys is you don't have to pick just one. You can go out and buy them both. Like the other one, he's very stylized. He's not a Batman that appears in a particular storyline or anything. But I do think he's going to be collectible just because it is specifically designed by Todd McFarlane himself. And it's a Batman. So there are some benefits to picking him up if you're a collector. I got two, one for the review and one for the museum. Now, this particular toy is hitting shelves right now at Target and Walmart and wherever you can find the DC Multiverse line, which is the good thing about a wide release. It's everywhere, and it retails for approximately $20. So if you're interested, happy hunting for him. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review, and until next time, keep playing.